You really should turn it on the TV so I know what's going on up there.
You can't see it on there?
Well, it's delayed.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Well,
like right now it's still in countdown.
let's see. Since we already started the show.
Well, what would be a show without a technical difficulty or 34?
Let's see if we can do this for Mr. Kevin. All right.
It's working though.
Why don't I just switch to you for a second? You could talk.
Welcome to the Ordinary Guys Show. So, story about me. Since Frank's busy hard at work right now.
Can't find the hole.
Why is that anything new?
Well, this time it wasn't a size issue.
So anyways, to tell you what happened with me, I was profusely coughing like crazy, so I finally went to the doctor because I got my first COVID test. And I went in expecting that they were going to, put this thing up my nose to where it touched the back of my brain, like everybody said. Worried to death that, this was going to be an issue. And totally didn't happen. So they swabbed my nose. Did I even tell you about this?
No.
So they swabbed my nose. They go, we're going to have to do both sides. And they put the little Q-tip thing up my nose. They went deep, but it made me want to giggle. Like it didn't.
Tickled?
Oh, yeah. Like bad. And I was sitting there and they spin it. So they don't just put it up there and go like roundy round. They take it and she spun it. And I was like, oh my God. And so she pulls it out. She goes, you okay? I go, I feel like I'm going to laugh my butt off when you put it up there. She's like, I've never heard that response. And then I felt like I was going to sneeze too. So they do the other one, do the little twisty twist. Same thing. Feels like I'm going to sneeze everywhere. And that's good. Now I can actually see in real time.
You can see it? We're good?
Yeah. So anyways, they ran the test results or whatnot. And I came back negative. So that's a good thing. And I come to find out I have bronchitis. So
that damn bronchitis.
Yep. Ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for
Ain't
no
nobody
bronchitis.
got time for that. Nobody got time for that. Remember when they did the remix of her voice with that song?
I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of missed that whole ain't nobody got time for that thing. By the time I jumped onto it, it was all like memes and stuff and gifts at that point.
Gifts to the world.
They are gifts to the world. Speaking of gifts to the world.
Well, we actually have some comments. What's up, everybody? Nice to see you. Says, sup, Ava's dad. You're probably, if you're saying that.
Yeah, it's terrible. You shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, this is, we're only clean for the first 10 minutes of the show.
So instead of being prepared prior to this.
Scott Treader's in the house already.
Oh, man.
Shot out of a cannon.
Shot out of a cannon for sure. I'm going to peel my orange and make me an old-fashioned real quick.
No, we can't make the old-fashioned. We got to actually do the bourbon review. So Frank and I have been heavy into the bourbon and whiskey scene lately. Like, we may drink a little too much. To the point we go into a liquor store and we're like, all right, we've tried that one, we've tried that one, we've tried that one, we've tried that one. Yeah, I tried that one. I've tried that one. And literally we've tried all of them because typically I'll buy a bottle, Frank will buy a bottle, and then we just keep trying them. So our newest quest has been to find an inexpensive bourbon, and by that I mean $40 or less. Actually $35. So $35 or less, and see which one is the best in that group.
Well, you could. So what happened the other day? We found one the other day. We bought all of them.
Yeah. So we have Jim Beam Black. We have New Riff, which is only available at
Total Wine, I believe.
Yeah, Total Wine. We have McKenna 9 years at 10 year. 10 year, which is supposedly really hard to find. And then we have the elusive Buffalo Trace, which, by the way, we were able to score 4 bottles just the other day out of nowhere. And another one we forgot to add to the group, but we probably can't get that. We'll get hammered. We start getting into 5 different ones.
Probably
Is 2 Star.
2 Star. I don't remember if we already talked about 2-Star, but I definitely drank 2-Star on the show. That was last week. And
Yeah,
that's,
so the
that's
first
when
time
I got the shits.
So the first time we saw 2-Star, what was your reaction?
I
in
was
the
like,
store?
who the hell is going to call something 2 stars?
Yep.
You gotta have more pride in it. We call it 5-star, even though it might not be 5 stars. You at least got to name it.
It's
right.
zero expectation when you're going in with 2 stars.
But it actually turns out that 5-star or 2-star, I see here I go, is actually made by the same company that makes Buffalo Trace. It's just not in the Buffalo Trace distillery. It's a different distillery not too far away, but apparently that's where they make all their house brands. So I think that means, if I'm not mistaken, I think that means you can label those. But I might be wrong. But there was a good one. Chestnut Farms was there too, right?
Yeah, Chestnut Farms is.
Is it Farms? Chestnut Farms?
It is Chestnut Farms, which, by the way, that one's good, but that's, I think, 62.
It's expensive.
Yeah, so that's not.
Relatively speaking, well, Eagle Rare, I thought was pretty close to that. And Eagle Rare is only $35.
Regular
if you could find it.
MSRP.
Yeah, if you could find it.
And what'd you pay? 40 something?
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
I think I paid 50.
Wow.
I only did that because I never had a bottle.
What's up, Clark Seifert? The last time we drank with Clark, he woke up at his house thinking he was still at my house.
That's a true story.
Yeah, that's what happens
True
when you
story.
drink with the OG.
And remember, because we're the Ordinary Guy Show, we're not going to sugarcoat or baby you. Clark puked all over the damn place. Didn't he?
Not at my house.
But no, afterwards.
I don't think he did.
Oh, I take it back. Clark, if you did not puke, I apologize. If you did puke,
let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
No, Clark, he hung with us the entire show. That is a big deal in itself. By the way, you just switched to you and not me, and you thought you switched to me.
I did.
This is starting out really well. There's my bronchitis. Oh.
It's the bronchitis. The funny thing, though, is...
He said no, he's not no bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, typically one of two things happens during Drinking Buddies. You either get so drunk you do something stupid and we can't air the show. That happens half the time.
Yep.
Or you get drunk, you make the entire show, but then you are liable to ruin your entire relationship, or your wife may or may not fall into a table in the middle of the room. Or
God, did I have like a booze buyer's intuition or what? You saw like 10 minutes before it happened, I moved all the bottles.
We lost nothing in that fall.
I moved all the bottles.
And all that ended up on the floor was a little bit of ginger ale.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
That was it.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the caps were off those bottles and everything. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah. Clark just reminded me. Murray got drunk and started eating bathroom bologna.
He did.
And he was just drinking Busch Light.
See, I think we can talk about it because there's no proof that it actually happened. So if it needed to be verified, it's okay. Eddie Hansen got naked on our show.
From the waist up.
From the waist up. But that's naked enough for me. And we never aired that one.
No. And then, Scott. We forgot Scott. Scott did one of these. Like, here was his tablet.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's you, so.
Yeah, it's me. Here's his tablet, and you hear his wife walk in. You see him look over, and he goes, and then boom, gone, never to be seen again.
Scott said his wife hates these.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, she has good reason to hate these.
What's up, Cody? Hey, Cody Leland just joined us, which gives me a good opportunity to talk about one of our oldest friends from the podcast, American Regardless.
The shirt's on under here.
You really? So I was wearing my American Regardless getting ready for the show, and I picked my baby up, and she puked all over me.
I like that shirt. So here's the good thing, and I'm not just saying this because we're friends with Cody.
It's soft.
I have a super problem with shirts that aren't pre-shrunk because
You're wide.
If you don't know me, I'm a bigger guy. But the weird thing about my bigness is I've also have a torso of like a 6'4" human, but I got short little Neanderthal legs. So it's like I'm all torso. So if I buy an extra large shirt and it shrinks just a little bit, it looks like I'm wearing like a belly shirt. And so any shirt that's not pre-shrunk, it's good for about one wear. So when we got the shirts, tried them on, obviously washed it, and it still fits, which is a miracle.
Yep, they're awesome. I find that I've been wearing them all the time. I wear my drink mode shirt all the time, but they're awesome. Check them out, AmericanRegardless.com. And I think you can use the code OG show or OGs for a discount. But anyway, who's his own mess?
Scott's wife says that she doesn't hate the show. Scott's his own mess.
Oh,
It's her talking to us. We need her on the show.
we do need her on the show.
I feel like we would learn a lot about Scott.
we should have her fill in
Yes.
with him not
Drinking
being
buddies with Christina.
I'm telling you, we've talked about having the wives on and they won't do it. But
No, my wife doesn't even watch this show and says it's stupid.
Jan thinks it's stupid as well. But imagine if Christina were able to talk to us about Scott, with Scott being unable to talk.
You're backwards again.
No, I was handing it to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to actually get into topics.
Yep,
How's
we
that
got
sound?
topics.
Well, I have topics.
Wait, should we start a drink prior to topics? So we have something going on in the background?
Well, we'll work on the drinks while I say the topics. You want to pour while I get them going? And
What
you
are
can
you
respond to
actually
it?
drinking over there right now?
Bean Black.
Bean Black. So quickly though, Bean Black is an award winner.
In 2016, look at the bottle. It says it on it. It was the #1 bourbon award, like
So-
blind test.
International Wine and Spirits Competition Quality Award, world's highest rated bourbon. It's not saying what year, but it's been in the last 5 years for sure. I remember seeing that. Jim Beam Black, extra aged bourbon. It's delicious. I'm a fan of it, which is really weird because
It takes out the super sweetness of the normal bean,
correct.
and puts in smokiness.
Yep, it's a little less sweet of a beam.
When it first came out, I did some reading about it. When it first came out, I think it said it was aged 8 or 9 years or something like that.
Right.
That's no longer on the bottle. And what they think is they think that the batches that they had to replace some of the mixture because they ran out of that year.
That makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
a no set age.
But they still think it's a higher age, but something in there mixing just to be filler is, but it's good.
Buffalo Trace makes an amazing old fashioned.
All right, let's stop doing
All right.
the other drinks and let's do the real ones because
All
at
right.
this rate, we're going to be hammered, not be able to talk.
Yeah. Well, I needed a drink, like an actual, like I'm drinking drink.
All right, on that note, I'm going to pour 2 of them for now. What do you want to start with?
So I want you to try that new riff. Kevin has never tried this new riff, and he's also never tried the McKenna. The McKenna is one of my favorites. And I don't drink it very much. I should have cut cameras. I don't drink the McKenna very much because I don't want to not be able to get it again. The woman at the liquor store didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to buy all of
Doing this
them.
one?
Sure, but I don't have it yet. She wasn't aware that I was supposed to be limited to one.
And then are we doing it up
And
against
I
McKenna?
bought all of them. It's two totally different, but
Well,
I think McKenna against Buffalo Trace is a good one.
okay, so black against Riff.
Sure.
So to let everybody know, it's an MGD product, the Riff, and they're a new company that opened up a new distillery. I can't see how much I'm pouring.
Good.
And to those who don't know, and this is whiskey school, I guess now. We're just going to be a whiskey podcast from now on. No longer is it wiener jokes. It's all whiskey, folks. So anyways, so MGD, so when a new bourbon company or whiskey company comes out, they can't obviously sell their whiskey because it has to age. So what they'll do is they buy what's called the juice, and the juice typically comes from a company called MGD because they're the high-end spirit maker. They then mix their own brand, so to speak, and then they will come out with something. So New Riff will eventually come out with their own whiskey, but for right now, it's an MGD mixed brand.
Right.
And it's good.
While theirs is aging.
So this is, I poured a lot of this.
Yeah, so that is the new riff. This is not the single barrel. We've had the single barrel before. This is new riff Kentucky straight bourbon.
Yep. Let's try this one.
I want to see the face here.
I didn't get it up. Ooh, that's honey. I like that one a lot.
There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, let me see what I'm tasting.
There's a whole lot going on right there.
Yeah. That's better than the single.
So for people who, I don't want to say if you don't like bourbon, right? Because if you like bourbon, I think you would appreciate this. If you don't like bourbon, you're clearly not going to like this. But you have some pretty bland.
It's definitely a bourbon.
I would say that Buffalo Trace is, and if you think of your Basil Hayden, Buffalo Trace are pretty, not bland, but you can drink them straight out of the bottle if you wanted to.
Yeah, this is, well, on neat, it's good.
Neat is delicious.
It's got a good smell too.
But I think that
it's got to be low alcohol.
that has a lot of layers, doesn't it?
If it isn't low alcohol, well, if it isn't low alcohol, now he's going to fall over, and we're only one drink in.
It's 100 proof.
This has like no spice.
It's 100 proof because it's bottled in bond.
This
is bottled in bond without chill filtration.
I get a lot of cherry out of it, and I'm getting a lot of vanilla.
Red nose is very spicy, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff going on.
Let me try the black. To give you my background, my favorite has always been Beam. So when Beam Black came out, I was a shoe-in right away. So Beam has...
Hey, our favorite liberal is here.
Who's that?
Corey.
Oh, what's up, Corey? And by the way, if you would like to drink with the boys tonight, every time we take a shot, you take a shot. So we are already on number 2 because I've already been drinking my other one. I've had that shot, and now I'm going to have this one. So you better be 3 in.
There's a lot going on with that.
It's good, but it's almost, there's one bad thing. After it's sat in my mouth, I get cough syrup.
Yeah, I think that's because it's young still, right? Is that how that works?
I get a cough syrup taste in the back of my tongue. I don't like that. But while you're drinking it, it's good.
Well, for being bottled in bond at 100 proof, I think it's pretty damn good.
Honestly, the Beam Black's better.
This is 100 proof too.
Try that Beam Black. You got to switch to your thing when you do it, but the Beam has a much better aftertaste.
I'm drinking out of a metal cup. People, don't judge me.
It's a more complete whiskey, I feel like.
It's definitely more oaky.
Very.
The
finish is better.
The finish is better for sure, but I think like the middle of it is
the initial taste though of that
new riff. It's a little smoky. Right?
It's more of a. There's more there. The other one's sweeter.
See, for me, I feel like it's spicier. It might just be my palate.
I think you didn't clear your mouth out, but the other one definitely is very sweet. I'm going to go back to it, and then we can move on to a topic, and then we can give it a head-to-head. I poured way too much of this first one. It's like candy after you just drink that Beam.
Really?
Yeah, and it's got licorice. When you go back, you'll taste licorice. Think licorice. It hits you right in the nose. Licorice does. Do you pick up that?
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
It's definitely a good sipper. I enjoy it.
They're both good. They're both well worth the money. What was New Riff? 35?
New Riff was less than 40. Yeah.
Here's the kicker. Beam Black. $16.
Yes. Now, I think it was on sale though, right?
And it was on sale. So it was like 14 something or 13 something. And then on top of that, you got a free 2-liter Diet Coke.
That's crazy.
It's like, look, here, have this for free.
I'll always tell you, if Jim Beam Black is on sale for less than $20, by all means, pick it up. It is delicious for the price. And you really won't be mad. I don't think you'll be mad. I used to keep that in my decanter. So I'll explain this too to people. So whenever you come over to my house, if you want to grab a drink, you can't see it right now, but I've got all my whiskeys right here, but I've got decanters. If the decanter is there, that's like a help yourself. There's no label on it because...
And we're going to tell you it's a very fine whiskey.
Right. And you would believe me.
Pappy Van Winkle.
But I don't know about Pappy.
Bland's.
Sure. But every time you taste it, you would appreciate that I shared my stash with you. And I can tell you right now that Jim Beam Black is in my bourbon decanter.
What's up, Keith and Matt? We got 2 shout outs. Well, not to bore you guys with constant whiskey night.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
And that's only because it's the kick.
Which
This isn't a.
because we're going to bring it to the next round.
I like that. That new riff is crazy.
So
To
you
me,
like the new riff?
there's so much going on with it. It's fun.
I kind of like the black better.
That's okay.
I really do. But you got to remember, I'm a total Beam fanatic.
So how would you compare this new riff to that single barrel?
The single barrel was definitely spicier.
Did you not feel like it was smoother though?
No, I didn't.
See, the end of this one, I feel
We
like is a
have
little
2
more.
different likes,
rough.
though. I like stuff that bites me in the ass, and you like stuff that is sweeter and smoother.
I like more mellow.
Yeah, I like it to fight me.
Yeah, but here's the deal though: is I do my biggest test is I like a lot of the spices and the flavors, but I also want them to come out in an old fashioned without cutting through the old fashioned. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I want them to be complemented. I tried this one in an old fashioned, and it was like, oh, old fashioned mixed bourbon. it was like
It
cut
took it
straight
over.
through.
See, I think black.
But
would
the
do
Four
better in
Roses does
too.
that for me as well. The Four
Really?
Roses cuts right through for me as well.
See, you don't love the Four Roses either, and I like that.
I don't. But
Real quick note.
I think I like ryes better, to be honest with you,
Well, yeah,
because my ryes seem to go with the old
you
fashioned
got to pay for
without cutting through them, and they're all more expensive.
it
Yeah.
because it costs them more to make it. But note to everybody, if you're looking in that lower cost range and you run across one of what seems to be too good to be true, Old Forester Blue Label, which is typically on sale for around $19.99, can be lower, can be $1 or 2 more. For God's sakes,
What is it?
Old Forester.
Old Forester. Oh my
Not
God,
all of
yeah.
them, just
No.
that one.
86 proof.
Horrible.
It has this.
Gas.
Yeah, it's like they took it's like they didn't know how to char the oak, so they soaked it in gasoline and then lit it on
Yes.
fire. And then put it out so that there's still gasoline in it.
It's so bad.
And to be honest with you,
I think they aged it in metal beer like kegs.
well, I didn't give it a fair shake if you think about it. Like I have every bourbon that I have, I've also had in an old fashioned to taste because you have to be like,
Oh, you can't hide it. I mixed it.
you can't
I
hide it.
mixed it with Diet Dr. Pepper to get rid of it after you left. And I still went
So
like
you think
that.
that's a Mountain Dew and
It's the worst bottle of liquor I've ever had in
oh,
my life.
that's tough.
It's not worse than Great Odin's Raven.
That was, I don't know. That was weird. I
I'd like
kind
to
of
try
like
it
that.
now.
Yes, I'd like to try it now because I kind of like that in a way. By the way, if you ever come and join us in person, we have a new bottle for you to try. It is our own house blend
Oh,
bourbon. I
Infinity
don't know if we
whiskey.
can call it bourbon.
Infinity whiskey.
Well, it's all bourbon. But yes, what I did was I took a shot of every bottle that I have and put it in a bottle. And somehow all these delicious whiskeys turned into salt water.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's because of the one Rogue Dead guy. But the weird thing is the Rogue Dead guy isn't that salty on its own.
I would like to try Jefferson Ocean because that was aged at sea.
After that, I don't want to try it.
Well, I want to try it because it was aged at sea, so it may have similar saltiness to it.
Do you think we might have just been that drunk that night, though?
I
did
mean, we can always
taste
try it
wrong?
again.
I think we're going to get there again tonight.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a topic.
All right. Topic other than whiskey. Number 1 on my list. New movie that I did enjoy, and I told you it was on. Did you watch it? Coming to America, Part 2.
So I made Janet watch the first one. So we watched the first one
So
last
funny,
night.
by the way.
The first one?
I had never seen it.
Really?
I laughed.
So I laughed out loud watching it, and I didn't think she thought some things were funny, but it's a beautiful movie.
F you!
Right.
F you too! That was so good.
Yes. Fuck you.
Yeah. He's like, and the freaking Rose Girls, and just, it was slapsticky. So you haven't seen the second one?
I have not seen the second one.
It's good. It's not near as good as the first one. It is 1,000% playing off the popularity of the first one.
Okay.
Like it uses more cutback scenes than any movie I've ever seen as a sequel. Like,
Okay.
tons of it. But it is good. Arsenio Hall is great in it, and Wesley Snipes is in this one. Wesley Snipes is fantastic.
I love Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, and he is great in this. But I felt like, and watch this get back to him, of our 7 viewers, it'll get back to him, and he'll like cuss us out, and that would be awesome. But I want Eddie Murphy to know to his face, I'm a huge fan, but you half-assed this movie. Because the funniest thing about Coming to America is the exuberance of that character, like at all times.
When you looked, if you just sat there and glued yourself to Eddie's face in
Yeah.
every scene,
He's just happy.
he was happy, but he was also, in his mind, I think he was putting on like a theatrical masterpiece. He put everything
Yes.
into that one.
And
His
not the
acting,
case in the second
everything, his posture. Okay, so the scene when him and Arsenio Hall are Bo Staff fighting in the very beginning,
one. Yeah.
he acted as if he was the Black Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? And it was just, but he took it serious. It wasn't like a, I don't know, it wasn't like a Blazing Saddles spoof kind of a movie. He took it serious. You know, it's a romantic comedy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, which is funny. But anyway, so I thought the first one is phenomenal.
Yeah, Eddie felt like he was off, but he also was playing a different role in this one because now he's grown up and he's having to take his father's role. And he's
Okay.
having to be more serious. But just that whole person you fell in love with in the first movie, it's not there. And Arsenio is great in this one. Simi is great.
I've been assigned waste disposal duties.
Well, and you know,
Do
here's
you
the other
have
thing.
trash?
Did you know that started the whole Nutty Professor thing?
Bob just joined us. He just finished that movie.
Oh, we did.
Which one,
Bob-
Bob? 2? Second one?
So, excuse me.
I liked the Nutty Professor, though.
But the thing is that all keyed off of the barbershop because that was him and Arsenio playing the old men.
Yeah.
So it moved on and it got really popular. And then the Crumps or whatever it was, and he did that role. In this movie, there's a lot more of that because they know that works.
Right.
Like in the first movie, it wasn't a lot of the barbershop. This one, it's like, we got the barbershop.
I feel like, gosh,
And the pastor. Yeah.
who's the conservative talk show host that we listen to occasionally? Well, I'm drawing a blank. I'm just drawing a name blank because I've been drinking a
Well,
little bit.
The two I
The
listened
young
to.
one.
Oh, Andrew Wilkow?
No, the other one.
Young?
Yeah, younger.
Andrew's on radio, you mean, or on
Online. I'm drawing a damn blank. Shapiro.
Okay.
Shapiro basically reviewed it as Eddie Murphy was literally in every scene of that movie. Is that accurate?
Yes.
He was in every scene of the
Yes.
movie. All right, Kevin's glued to the monitor.
Well,
So-
because Bob responded, and Bob is right. And yes, Norbit was great. I
Oh,
forgot about
Norbit. I forgot
Man, we have
Norbit.
to wear a bathing suit. I am wearing a bathing suit, Bob. Remember that? Because her fat
Yeah.
rolls over the top.
Norbit was phenomenal. That's a good movie. Anyway, so that was the first topic was that movie.
Yes.
Okay, you weren't comparing it to anything, right? We're just talking about that movie.
Yes.
Okay, good movie.
Have you watched any good movies?
No.
Yes, you have. You watched the documentary about whiskey or
I-
bourbon. I
I
told
fell
you to
asleep.
watch.
Like, all right. So the whole thing is like an hour and 5 minutes or something
Mhm.
like that, maybe a little bit more.
I dare you to watch the Scotch whiskey one because you
Well,
can't understand nothing.
Tyler had mentioned that there is another one. I have to look it up. I feel like that one. What was that one called?
How you doing?
What was that documentary called?
I don't remember. It just said bourbon.
I
Typed
think.
in bourbon.
Yeah, I think it was called like Neat or something like
I
that.
think you're right.
But anyway, so I can't even see it. I'm looking back. Oh yeah, he said Straight Up is another one.
Straight up.
Straight Up.
Word up.
So Straight Up. So Neat and Straight Up. So I definitely need to check out Straight Up. Neat was cool because it had a lot to do with the Buffalo Trace distillery. And every time Kevin and I go into Total Wine, they always have the White Dog.
Ugh.
They always have Buffalo Trace Distillery White Dog. So White Dog is the alcohol that they put into the barrels. So it comes off the distill at 160 proof or less. So it's less than 160 proof and it's more than 120.
It's just fire.
Yeah, so it's essentially it's essentially moonshine, right?
Coach Nelson, he was in here a minute ago, and then Christina was talking to us, and I don't know what happened to him. Maybe Christina beat him to death.
We need to get Christina on the show.
Well, he said he would pipe her in.
Need to
I
write.
don't think we're set up for the audio here, though. We won't be able to
No,
hear
we're
her
not.
very well.
We're not.
Yeah.
She would have to come in, like, right?
Yeah.
She'd have to actually join the show.
That would be a good show, though, Scott and her, because I feel like she would just roast him.
Yeah, I see that too.
Like if Morgan ever came on, which that won't happen. Could you imagine? I would be this small.
Well, I forgot to mention too that this hat that I'm wearing, I don't know if anybody can see it. I had Cody's dad make this for me.
MAGA.
So I had Cody's dad make it for me, and it's the Patriot Party symbol.
AKA MAGA.
Yep. So obviously it's not going to be a real party. It doesn't make sense to break from the Republican Party, but it's cool enough.
Yeah, he announced that at the
It's cool enough, and it's a lion. And I think of lions when I think of Trump now.
So, switching topics. We discussed many of things we do for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that we probably never say on this show. Because Frank and I spend a lot of time in cars together.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about some stuff that if our mothers ever heard, they would disown us or probably wish they aborted us.
Yeah.
And neither of them believe in that.
Well,
so, I'm going to tell you right now that the girl that put the Gorilla Glue in her hair
phenomenal.
is suing and probably going to win.
No. Because the label didn't say you shouldn't put it in your hair.
Right.
That woman, all right, I'm going to say this right here. This is an ordinary guy thing to do. All right. That woman should get a job and not sue another company as a form of income.
For some people, that is a job.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. See, here's the deal is, Kevin, you're a business owner. I'm a business owner. And if you were the business owner that made that, like the legit business owner, you created Gorilla Glue, and this woman sues you, wouldn't you like to just kick her in the twat?
In the worst kind of way.
Right.
Double.
Because you're like,
twat.
I created Gorilla Glue. I created something to help you glue shit together. And you're an idiot.
I can't tell you how many times though I've glued my fingers together with super glue.
I do it all the time, but I don't complain. You know why I don't complain? Because I know when I touched it that it was super glue.
Do you ever feel like a robot after you get your fingers
Yeah.
together and then you touch it and it's like, I have plastic fingers?
Yeah, you feel like you could touch
Yeah.
anything. You can like
Yeah.
scrape stuff. You could probably couldn't like, use your finger sensor to open anything, but whatever. It's fun. And it feels weird. And then, but you know what's so funny? I never remember that feeling stopping.
No,
Like
it just goes
I
away.
don't know when it goes away,
It might
but
still be there and I just got used to it.
it's just like in the grooves.
Yeah.
You never know. It just eventually stops feeling that way.
You ever use super glue to close a cut?
I know someone who has.
I have. It burns, buddy.
Yeah, no, the person that we are talking about used the whole bottle of New Skin,
Oh, God.
which is basically super glue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest day of our
Yeah.
lives.
Anyway,
Well, I can tell you that. Oh, she has a GoFundMe account, Bob says, with $23,000 before it became under investigation.
so
Well, I don't know
explain
why
that
we're
to me.
doing
How do you investigate a GoFundMe? Like, couldn't I create a GoFundMe account for enough money to buy all the bourbon in the world?
Which, by the way, we're starting a GoFundMe to buy all the-
Kevin, who hates GoFundMes, is
But
down for this
that-
one.
Yeah, that's. I won't do it for, like, let's say if I need money to bury someone, but, I have priorities, Frank.
I completely agree.
No, but maybe she put in her, because you have to put a description about what the GoFundMe is about. Maybe she said she accidentally did
To pay for surgeries or some shit
Yeah.
like that, and she's already.
it. I don't understand why she had to go to the hospital, though, to get it off. Like, You could use paint thinner. It would get it. I think it would eat it.
Well, look, they say that she says she tried everything.
Well, I guarantee she didn't try mineral spirits.
Well, by trying everything, I'm thinking she tried like water, maybe some sort of like
soap,
grease, maybe like tried something to try to break between the two
we should do
objects.
it on a little section of her hair and see if we can get it to break down.
I think it would be cool to just make one like little baby Liberty spike in my hair and see how long it just stays that way.
Yeah,
Because Gorilla Glue does not set as fast as Crazy Glue, if I'm not mistaken.
well, I don't know why she didn't just shave her head.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it'd still be on your scalp, so it'd feel like when it gets on your fingers.
Definitely. But then you shave your head and you rub your scalp. Dude, here's the deal. If I got that stuff on me and I did shave my head or my head was already shaved, I would just use some like Gojo, wash my head with some Gojo, some mineral spirits. And if I had to, I'd get into the paint thinner, degreaser. Look, I'll wash my scalp with degreaser if it meant getting super glue out of my hair. Otherwise, who cares? Whenever I work on the car, I use my hair to clean my hands. Do you do that too?
When I used to go, this is awful. When I used to go mudding, the way I would clean my fingernails out is I would wash my hair and use the shampoo, but go like this with my fingernails, and I'd get it. My hair would get up under my fingernails and clean my fingernails.
Your fingernails would be perfectly clean.
Yeah.
I was told that that's normal.
Your fingers look like you've been.
It's natural. Yeah, I stained
doo-doo.
I stained a black piece of furniture yesterday. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's hard to see there, but I got like the black rings around my fingers. I stained a black piece of furniture, and in the middle of it, my glove broke. So my glove broke, it ripped, and the whole glove filled with the stain that was on my rag. So it got all over my hands. Normally, I would use mineral spirits, wash my hands in mineral spirits, but I ran out. I just bought some today, so hopefully cleaning it up. But
baby oil supposedly gets paint out of your hair.
Paint?
Said.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I can see that. And I'm saying is like that's maybe something, I don't know. I feel like she tried something, but obviously it wasn't enough.
I feel like if you're stupid enough to do that, that explains why you couldn't get it out of your hair.
Yeah, but you know what? At the same time, I think that if Gorilla Glue created a formula that removes Gorilla Glue, they could make up for the money that this dumb bitch is suing for.
I think as a punishment for even trying to sue it, they should glue her ass to the seat she sits in the courtroom.
You think you can glue your ass cheeks together to the point that you couldn't fart?
Yes. Would super glue? Most definitely.
You really think so?
Yes.
What would happen?
I'm sure somebody's done it on the internet. There's weirder stuff on there than that.
Just break a little barrier and come up by your nutsack.
Ugh. I tell you what. So, yeah. So anyways, the point is if you could get several $1 million for super gluing your head, would you do it? My answer is yes.
How much?
Dude, 20 grand.
Oh, yeah.
I said millions, but I would do it for probably 20 grand.
Yes.
I'd probably do it for 5.
For sure. Yeah.
I'd think about it for 1,000. I mean, all I got to do is shave my head and be a little uncomfortable for a couple days.
You mean to tell me that I got glue in my hair? Now, gluing my hand to my scalp is a different story.
That's going to take $500,000.
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck. Like, my arm's going to go numb after a while. You ever lay in your bed and you're playing on your phone for a while and that your arms, like, hurt?
It's like a torture test.
Right. Like, I don't want to just be stuck here like this for a while. I feel like everywhere you go, people think you're just some douchebag posing.
So I just thought of something, by the way. We learned on last show what the litmus test is to see how drunk you are. And if you can say Philadelphia, you are not drunk.
Yeah. I apologize for that, by the way, you guys. I was never intending on being that sloppy last week, but
it happens.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen.
And he got smashed potatoed.
I did. The funny thing was I was fine for the most part. It was just the initial like on surge of the buzz that put me in that goofy mood, and then it wore off and I was fine. But It was fun
But from now on, each segment we have to say Philadelphia and see what happens.
to test.
Yeah. So my next topic
Thank you,
is
Keith. I appreciate it. He
Isn't-
said I did good last week.
is in the world full of men and women and women consistently getting the upside on men.
Like in relationships?
Yeah, and marriage divorces is what I'm getting at.
Well,
Kanye West lost the house to Kim.
yeah. Doesn't Kim have more money than Kanye?
I thought so, but I don't know. The first thing he had going wrong for him is I'm pretty sure they live in LA or not, or LA County. So it was automatically he was going to get screwed.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why the court with people with those massive amount of income feel that either of them should get anything other than selling the goods, splitting it down the middle. Like there's no reason. Kim's going to be fine on her own.
Yeah,
he's going to be fine on his own.
If they both have businesses and all that nonsense, right? Essentially just split them apart, not the businesses. You split the people apart. That business is yours, fine, go away. That business is yours, fine, go away. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They both make enough money that it's absolutely fine. Jesus, I would split the money that the attorneys got in my own divorce and be happy. Wouldn't you think so?
It's just crazy to me that
How much money do you think the attorneys got?
Oh, they probably get 30%.
That's a lot. No, 30% is for like a settlement, isn't it?
33.3.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting their money.
Even if they got 10% of all that money, it's a lot of fucking money.
It's just ridiculous that either of them would get anything from the other.
Can you tie a cherry stem?
No,
Your
I'm
tongue?
not gay.
I can do it.
Oh, we just got banned
You talk while I do it. How do you get banned?
because I just said no, I'm not gay.
It's a gay word.
By me pronouncing that I'm not gay
Mhm.
automatically means
Mhm.
that we're terrible people.
It actually means that you're gay.
Is that what it means?
Mhm.
Is that the new rule?
Mhm.
Meanwhile, you're over there tying a stem with your. Put the camera on you so they can see this ridiculousness. Did you do it? Oh, you're just going to show the finished product?
I was going to. I got distracted and almost choked on it.
Oh, that'd be good.
Mhm.
Oh, and another thing is he came out with a new shoe, I think, a couple days ago, and it literally looks like a cloud. And it's the stupidest looking shoe you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, if you thought his other shoes are ridiculous. Oh, and he came out with Crocs, too.
Oh, I want the Crocs. I don't even know what they look like.
No, his are stupid looking.
I just want a new pair of
They
Crocs.
they don't look like Crocs. They look like Crocs that are space age, like over the top space age. They're stupid. But anyways, next one, Baker Mayfield of the Browns, Cleveland Browns, the other day was driving home with his wife from somewhere, and he swears to God that he saw a UFO.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that he probably did not. But let's say that you did get abducted, Frank.
Tony and I have problems right now. Tony, this is for you. No, Crocs are not the dumbest shoe ever, okay? I wear my Crocs all the time, and my Crocs have fur in the inside
Tony,
of them.
You're the dumbest thing
So
ever.
I can wear underwear in a blizzard and my Crocs with fur and be just fine.
Tony's just very jealous.
Very jealous. You know where you can wear Crocs? Anywhere.
You can wear Crocs, honestly, in any situation. For any reason.
Crocs?
Yeah, you could wear them with a tuxedo, and it's considered like, oh, that's funny.
They even make like some off-road ones now that actually have like treads at the bottom and they like strap to your feet.
Now, you know what's super stupid? The toe shoes.
Okay. Like the Vibrams. I've never used them, so I can't call them stupid. I can tell you that they look pretty retarded, but I don't know that they're actually retarded. Like, I don't know if they are chromosomes short. I just know they look like they're missing some chromosomes.
They're ridiculous. So, have you ever seen a UFO, Frank?
I mean, I have seen flying objects that I couldn't identify, as I don't know what model plane that is.
But have you seen an alien spaceship?
No.
Neither have I.
No.
But let's say you did see an alien spaceship and they did beam you up, Scotty. And the first thing they get there is they're all this group of, let's say they just look like normal people, like because they just look exactly like us. They just happen to come from another Earth.
Sure.
But for whatever reason, they decide they want to probe your butthole.
Yeah.
But in return, they give you the superpower of your choice.
Are
Do
you
you-
trying to tell me that all gay men are aliens?
If that's where you're going with it, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if I was an alien and I was really smarter
Okay,
than
they're
everybody
all
else,
females.
I wouldn't come down looking like an alien. I'd come down looking like humans.
Okay, they're from the planet Zoltan, and they're all female supermodels from Russia. Right. That's what they look like.
Okay.
Now, they are going to anally probe you,
Right.
and in return, you get a superpower of your choice. The question is do you accept? And if you accept, what is the superpower you want?
Whew. Okay. I like this question, Kevin. So you know you're getting a superpower.
Yes.
Can
Whatever you want.
Can you get more than one?
Just one.
So they get everything they need from one anal probing?
Yes.
They're not missing like some evidence that they might want to get from you later.
No, it's a COVID test alien
Okay.
style.
So I think that the most special,
But the probe is a good, like, Great American Challenge.
yeah, okay, oh boy, dude, there is something to be said about the power and invisibility. There really is. I think you can rob a lot of places if you were invisible.
You would be naked, stuck in a vault.
Yes. Waiting
Yeah.
for somebody to just come in and change the coins out or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
you could leave.
Yeah.
Because you would get stuck in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. So what about the ability to walk through a wall?
That could be your thing. So are we already assuming you're going to take the Great American Challenge for this?
I mean, a superpower, of course.
Okay.
Would you?
I don't think I could handle the Great American Challenge.
All right, but listen, no one's saying you got to handle it. You just got to take it.
No,
Like-
you're going to probably rip your butthole.
Like, you don't have to be happy about it.
I don't think you're going to be happy about it.
I mean, you might want to have a good surgeon ready.
Maybe that'd be your superpower. You're the world's greatest surgeon.
So this is what you do. Your superpower is to just create money out of thin air. And my superpower is to be able to stitch anything up like that. And I'll charge you a fortune.
Just stitch me back up.
Yeah.
That means you have to stitch my butthole.
Yeah, it's fine. I just got an American challenge up my ass.
Tony said you should be invisible if you're wearing Crocs so no one sees how dumb you look.
That's fucked up. But you know the thing about walking through walls? I have a serious question, guys. And this is for a lot of people who might want to chime in on this. If you had the superpower, the ability to walk through a wall, and you stole a bag of money, is that money able to come back through the wall with you or no?
Probably not.
How do your clothes come back with you then?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Because why couldn't you just hug the money and walk through the wall?
So, have you watched the series The Boys?
I'm on the second season. I know I'm really far behind. I should have already seen the
Well,
second
the
season.
invisible guy gets messed up because
In the first one.
yeah,
Yeah.
they freaking blow his ass up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Or a good show, I mean.
Tony said, if you wear Crocs, you are stating to the aliens that you fully support being anally probed repeatedly.
Yes, you're right, Tony. Right. I will convince you. I will convince you to be happy with a pair of Crocs one day. All right. Maybe somebody will get you some as like a Christmas gift one day, and you'll wear them. The fur ones, I'm telling you, man. The other night I was sitting by the fire with my fur Crocs on, and I felt cozy. And they slid right off if I wanted to cool my feet down. Just slide them right out. The only problem is they're a pain in the ass to wash, to clean.
Oh, the thing didn't come out?
No, it doesn't come out. It's sewn on the inside.
Oh.
So it doesn't come out. It's a pain in the ass to clean. But you can really just clean it with, like, I use some shampoo. I just like squirt shampoo and I wash my fur and then I air dry it. I do want another pair of Crocs that have no fur. If I have a pair of Crocs that have no fur, preferably in like camo or the OD green, I'd be very happy with that.
Yes, Tony, they have fuzzy Crocs.
Tony, I'll go get them right now, but I don't want to get up. but I have fuzzy Crocs. I have Crocs. It's like Crocs and Uggs banged.
Jeff Murray said we're both gay.
Jeff Murray's gay.
Jeff Murray's gay. He eats bathroom bologna. And not the sliced kind.
All aliens or proctologists. Oh man.
All right, moving on from
Yep.
gay aliens.
Did we end that? You want a superpower, you just couldn't handle the Great American Challenge.
Couldn't do it.
Dude, there's some good. What do you think is the best superpower? If you could handle it, what superpower would you want? Flying is like, I get it. You'd save a lot of money on airfare. But I feel like, what do you do once you got there if you're still a bitch? Can't save anybody just because you could fly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What would be mine?
Regeneration would be kind of cool.
I just thought of something, but if I say it, I could get in trouble.
Nah, just put it on my here. You put it on my camera, and I'll move my mouth, and you say the words.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work. But you would totally agree with my thought. Yeah. No, not doing it. I'll tell you after the show. Not doing it.
Okay. So the most useful, I think, would be super strength. I agree with Tony. Well, I'm almost super strength would be awesome. I do think regeneration would be kind of cool because think about it. Like, as we're getting older, we got body parts that are kind of failing us, like my knees. My knees would never have hurt to begin with.
I would like to.
I would have just regenerated.
What is it called? Shine?
What?
Like vampires can shine is what they call
Oh,
it.
you want to be fucking covered in glitter?
No.
Kevin's superpowers.
No, it's where you can like
Uh,
give somebody a thought.
oh, telepathy?
Well, no, telepathy means you can read somebody's thoughts.
Ah.
I'm talking about you can give somebody a
Oh.
thought. So, like, if I'm sitting in here and let's say I wanted
Jump
that
off
drink,
that bridge.
yeah, like,
Oh, that's a fucked up one, to be honest with you.
yeah, but think you could do anything with that.
Oh, yeah, that
Anything.
one's messed up.
There is no limit to that
Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
because that's like on Umbrella Academy, the girl. I heard a rumor.
Yes, I heard a rumor.
Yeah,
That's a great show, by the way.
I think that would be my superpower because if I wanted anything, I'd be like to Morgan, I'd just be like sandwich, and then I'd have a sandwich.
Yeah, I should get Kevin a
And
sandwich.
Morgan the whole time would be like, "What the hell am I getting this?"
Oh,
idiot a
she'd be
sandwich
mad.
for?" Yeah, she's like, "Fuck this
She'd be mad.
asshole!
She would be like crying while walking to get you the
Why am
sandwich.
I doing this?"
Yeah, not knowing why she's getting you the sandwich. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think that's the best one.
Yeah, because you could be like, I don't even need to rob the bank. You could just be like, I want to give you all the money because
Yeah.
you're awesome.
To like the owner.
Yeah. You're Jeff Bezos. You're like, I want to piss my money away by giving you all of it.
That's basically, I feel like, what women do to men.
Yeah, they do that.
Maybe we just figured it out. Maybe that's the whole thing.
So Keith says his would either be no pain or to have an amazing body without having to exercise.
Mm.
That's a good one.
Some people have that power.
Well, imagine, see, here's the deal is what about the trade-off? What's the trade-off to some of these? Like, what if you had super speed? I think super speed would be awesome. But as I'm running really fast, next thing you know, I die because I didn't consume enough calories to keep my speed up.
Oh, like, yeah, like the guys.
Right. Like, I got to eat like
The boys.
I got to eat like fucking 10 Subway footlongs just to run from here to your house in 2 seconds, which would be cool because you could lose a lot of weight. Just go for a really fast run around the block.
Ant-Man was like that, wasn't he? When he got big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needed, like, he lost all his.
Paul
like,
Rudd killed that. That's
Yeah.
such a stupid character.
they're
And
great.
he made it good.
Great. He made it really good.
Yeah, it really was. But so moving down my list, I feel like I did pretty good with the topics this time.
Yeah.
by
These
the
are
way.
good topics.
Yeah. So we got to bring out the elephant in the room
Yeah.
and the lack of his penis.
Huh?
Who am I talking about?
Elephant in the room with no penis?
Yeah, the elephant in everybody's room right now. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And he is not allowed to have a penis any longer.
What did I miss?
Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, yeah. They changed. They backtracked.
Oh, he's still going to be Mr. Potato Head?
Yes, I think Hasbro. Is it Hasbro? Was
Yeah.
that the one? I think they backtracked and said that they will not get rid of Mr. Potato Head, but instead they're going to create.
They're going to get rid of Mrs. Potato Head.
No, they're going to create a gender neutral Potato Head. Which
and I'm okay with that.
But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that Mr. Potato Head anyway?
Mr. Potato Head doesn't have a dick.
Yeah, but couldn't you
if
just
he did,
take...
my kid's not getting one.
Didn't they just make Mrs. Potato Head features that you could just put on Mr. Potato Head? I don't remember.
I don't think I ever owned a Mr.
I don't
Potato
remember
Head.
if she was her own thing or not.
I don't know. But did that mean Mr. Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man can't be, they just have to be Dot Man?
Well, they already have their own games.
Miss Pac-Man? Like what? That's a tranny right there.
Yeah.
Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
We just solved the whole existential crisis.
Well, I think with Pac-Man, they'll probably make them be in the same game and you could just pick whichever gender you want. That's probably the solution.
Frank, if I had $1 for every gender there is,
yep,
I'd have $2.
Yes, that's very true.
You know they have like a helicopter gender?
You can be whatever you want to be. So here's, are we talking about this?
Should we try because that'll go forever.
Can we try the next bourbon?
Yeah, we should probably switch to the next bourbon.
Let's do the next bourbon.
We go down that path and we're never getting off of it.
This could be it could be a bad topic because I'm very firm in my beliefs on this topic.
Oh, I don't care if people get offended that I think there's only 2 genders. I don't care at all. Like if that offends you, then
so
whatever.
Well, while you pour, I'll just rant about it for a little bit. So I think, to be honest with you, that there are 2 biological genders. 2 biological genders.
Where's your other glass?
You can pour a swig in there, just a splash, because I got a lot going on over here.
Oh, you wussing out on me?
No. I still have to finish this one. That's my thing. So, meaning that if you have a penis, you are a male. If you have a vagina, you are a female. Now,
scientifically, I don't care if you are gay,
right?
You cross-dress.
I don't care who you love or who you want to fuck. But you have a dick, you're a male.
That's Buffalo.
You have a vagina, you're a female. And I think the discussion should just end right there. Anything else, if you want to be referred to as a fucking unicorn, as a zombie, as an ass sniffer, whatever the hell you want to be referred to,
aka Frank,
that could be your social avatar. People are trying to be living avatars, and it's absolutely ridiculous. What you want to be referred to socially has no impact on what you are biologically. And if you want to just go right out and say it, that means if you're a dude who likes to stick your dick in other dudes, you still piss in the dude's bathroom right next to the dude that you fuck.
I wouldn't care about anything of anywhere where anybody was pissing if it wasn't for children. Because here's the thing.
Oh, so Doug, so somebody said, what about hermaphrodites? I completely understand that.
That's different.
But a hermaphrodite, if I'm not mistaken, because I am not, I know nothing about like the medical behind that. Is a hermaphrodite not one or the other? They were just born with both parts. So like for example, like if you actually looked at their DNA, they are a woman or they are a male. I may be wrong. I think they're just born with both parts, which in that case, science should allow for the parents to have that kid tested and say, is there or is there not a Y chromosome? If there's not a Y chromosome, we know what the kid is regardless of the part.
Here's the problem with society today. We are so worried about this percent of a percent of a percent that gets pissed off about something, and the entire 99.9999999% of the population has to give in to what this 0.0001
correct
is think.
Correct.
Fuck them. I don't care about them.
Yeah, and again, so I'm gonna soften that a little bit and say I care that they have feelings. Whoever they
Honestly,
are,
I don't care about anybody.
I'm saying that because I mean, there are males that I could care less as to what happens to them, but I don't wish anything bad on anyone. Does that make sense?
I don't wish anything bad on
Okay.
anybody, but I don't give a shit if your feelings are hurt.
Right. Okay. So that's perfectly fine. Again, here's your feelings versus like we are talking about exactly what you said. What we are doing is we're creating a scenario in which your feelings are dictating how actual things work. And I'm sounding like an idiot right now, and I completely understand. But the point is, if you're feeling like a female, but you have a dick, I don't care. You still use the men's room, right? If you're feeling like a fucking tree because you want to just sit there with your arms out all day, but you have tits, you're a woman who's acting
And
weird.
again, I don't give two craps what you identify as. I don't care at all, not even the slightest. The only time I'm going to care is if you are trying to go in a place where there is juveniles. And why I say this, and the argument would be, well, this man became a woman, and now she feels that she's a she. And maybe that woman does actually feel that. Well, we're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. She is a she.
But
there's that other 1% that is only in there for bad reasons.
Sure.
Using that,
and that's always going to happen.
To be a pedophile,
and that's always going to happen.
That I'm not okay.
So
with.
so I'm going to give you two scenarios, okay? But the first thing I want to address is that the woman, which is generally, guys, you have to face it, right? The people that are wanting to transition are generally younger people. And I'm talking about under the age of 18. You're talking about people that are 14 and 15. And what are they confused about at this moment? Hormones. They're having hormones for the first fucking time. I had no clue who I was at 22.
I know who I am now.
Right? But my point is, you have a confused young woman who might like other women, but she thinks it's more socially acceptable to change her sex to be a male just so that she can like these other women. No, sorry, sweetheart. You are gay. That's fine. You like women. Who the hell cares? I don't care. But the problem is when you go up to my 6-year-old son and you start educating my 6-year-old son on why it's okay to change your sex, then he's going to be fucking confused, because I can tell you right now that my son has worn my daughter's play dresses. Why? Because my daughter thought it was fun to dress him up, and we laughed about it, and we took pictures of it, and it's no big fucking deal. You know what my son's going to go do tomorrow? Play baseball. You know what my son doesn't like to do on the weekends? Bathe. You know what he doesn't like to do? Wear underwear. What does that mean? Does that mean he's a boy or a girl? That means he's him. That means he's him with a dick, so he's male. End of discussion.
Well, and again, the other thing, and if you're a true libertarian, you'll agree with this, and that's where libertarians get stuck in the middle of that whole like gamut of they think that we're Bible thumpers. We're not. As a libertarian,
no,
you don't give two shits what any adult does.
I challenge everything.
And you're a guy and you want to chop it off, by all means, go ahead.
Yes.
If you're old enough to die for this country and you want to chop your wiener off, go for it.
Yes. If you're old enough to serve the country, I think you're old enough to do anything.
But if you're going to influence or be around anybody that is not of that age, that is not an adult, that I have a problem with.
So my social media posts have been kind of leading up to this right here, and this is what drives me nuts. And I want everybody to go on a little Back to the Future time travel with me here. So growing up, Kevin, did you know those people at younger ages that maybe weren't competitive, like physically or competitive? There's other ways to be competitive, but as males, there's competition. The non-aggressive, non-confrontational, right? So, for example, if there was a girl around that you both liked and you were like, my girl, he would just be like, and whimper away, right? I'm talking about the people that got picked last in gym class. And guess what? I was picked last a couple times in gym class. Who the fuck cares? If it was something I was interested in, I tried to get better at it so that I wouldn't be picked last next time. You following me on this? is it's like you're not, as a male, there are things that are difficult for us, and that if you're not physically strong, you run the risk of being picked last or being
That's not cool anymore.
not selected. It's not cool anymore. That's what I'm getting at.
The alpha type male is considered the biggest piece of shit on the
Correct.
planet now.
So growing up, the alpha male succeeded, right? Now what's happening is, if you have to go back even further to a time when survival was everything, where a family wouldn't have 5 children because they couldn't survive. A father couldn't provide by hunting and gathering. He couldn't provide for 5 kids, right? So the strongest survived, and that is within our DNA. It is within our gene pool to survive. You know what we made it do? We made it easy for losers to survive. And I'm not saying that losers need to all be taken out back and shot, but what I'm trying to say is we made it easy for losers to survive and to breed. And when losers breed with other losers, they create people that run this country right now that want everybody to be one fucking gender, and that's non-binary. I identify as whatever the fuck I want. You know why? Because instead of doing something physical and being competitive, they sat behind a computer screen and they thought that they were going to live in a virtual world, and that never fucking happened. So they're trying to make this their virtual world. I'm over it, man. I'm over it.
I'm going to say one last thing and then we'll move on. The irony of all this is it's almost as if they're trying to put us into a box to where you're getting pushed to care about everybody else's feelings and everybody else's money and everybody else's lifestyle.
Yes.
And they're wanting to get you.
Because everybody wants to be the damn Kardashians.
But here's the thing. Have you ever met a ultra rich person that gives a one shit about anybody else's feelings?
No.
None. But who is that? The politicians, the elites. If you can get everybody to come down to this level to where they think that everybody has to be just on the same, there can't be any winners, there can't be any losers. And this all started with the whole bullshit of everybody gets a trophy.
Right.
That's where it started snowballing. So now if you get everybody equal, who's going to win? The dominant A alpha types that are still up here that made these fake guidelines.
The people that made the guidelines so that they can further succeed.
They found a niche.
Because
they found their market.
We can talk about politics all you want, the political side of it all you want, but at the top of every single company sits a libertarian
that doesn't care about anybody's feelings.
Doesn't care about anybody's feelings. They're there for one fucking thing, and that's to make money and to grow their business, right? They just want to get what's theirs.
Well, and not to spread our business. Frank, as you guys know, Frank and I work together, and we've gotten to a couple disagreements a couple times. And as anybody knows, I'm the hard one to deal with. But I remember the words I said to you was, because you were like, thanks, for this or whatever, helping, and my response was, don't thank me. If you weren't any good at this job, I'd fire you in a heartbeat. You do a great job.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't care about Frank, but it's in the real world, feelings don't fucking matter. They don't matter. My feelings don't matter. At the end of the day, it's about the almighty dollar, and that's all that matters. And if you get caught up in worrying about everybody's feelings, all you're going to do is fall to last place.
Yeah, so I know we had already said that was going to be the last statement on this. I think if we just kind of put a bow on this would be, the only reason why any of this bothers me is because you're trying to tell my children. I'm going to be straight up and honest. I try to kind of dance around it to be respectful for everybody's beliefs. But what you're trying to tell me is that you want to teach my kids that God made a mistake. And that's where I have a problem, right? So for you to say, if you said, I'm a male, but I should have been a female, and you're telling my kids that it's okay to change your sexuality, right?
But
because God made a mistake, right? Because God made a mistake when he made you. He should have made you as a woman. No, the fuck he didn't. No. And I'm sorry, I'm not a highly religious person, but I fear God. I am a God-fearing man. So to say that God made a mistake when he created all these people, said no. Their parents made a mistake when they were growing up, when they were raising their own children. The parents made a mistake. You're not gay because of your parents. I'm not saying that. But you think it's okay to change your sex because of your parents. Your parents were medicated and on their phone and sat back while the internet raised you to believe you could change your sex. I'm sorry. Be a fucking parent. I couldn't tell you any kids that I know of that have active and involved parents that are questioning their sexuality. Gender, right? Because again,
I've actually never met anybody that's questioning their gender.
I've
I don't think
never.
there's a lot of them in our age group.
No, there really aren't. There really aren't. They're growing up now with parents that
So I
are
could guess,
that are
For the
medicated
benefit of
behind
the
the phone.
doubt, I could say we're speaking from ignorance, which is because I've never met anybody.
Right. But I have met a shitload of Christians, and I have met a shitload of Jews and a shitload of Muslims that all tell you this is bullshit. Every one of them. This isn't about their religion. This is about biology. And that's it, man. That's it.
All right, let's move on before we get cancel cultured.
Yep. Oh, by the way, no. All right, this will get me canceled for sure. Bathrooms, right? You want the solution? If listen to the name, gender dysmorphia, right? Dysmorphia. It's a problem. There's already a bathroom for people with gender dysmorphia. It's got the person sitting in the wheelchair, and it's over there, right? And that's usually an individual bathroom. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The third bathroom in places.
Family bathroom.
Sure, they changed a lot of those to family bathrooms, but you can put that person in the wheelchair right back on there, and they can use that bathroom. They can use that bathroom with the person who, unwillingly just shits their pants all the time. Because guess what? That's what gender dysmorphia is. It's a brain problem.
I think, and this will be my last thing on it, I don't agree. We rarely disagree on viewpoints. I disagree in the fact that I just don't give a shit. I don't care. So whatever it is you want to do, I don't care. And that's how I leave it. If it comes into my life and affects my family, then we're going to have a problem. But if you want to be a chicken, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Right. Well, the problem I have.
Don't care about me wanting to do what I want to do.
The problem I have is that starting next school year, they are allowing through interviews. They're interviewing children that think they're the other sex, and they're determining whether or not they can use the bathroom of the other sex in our school starting next year. Teachers have verified that starting next school year, they're going to allow men to use the women's bathroom in our community. Now, again, we've talked about what the problems are, right? There are physical problems to this, right? You're talking about a woman who thinks that she's a boy going into a boy's bathroom and getting raped by a bunch of men. You get what I'm trying to say? You're talking about being at a school basketball game and a pedophile who says he identifies as a woman walks into a woman's bathroom and tries to rape my daughter. And I swear to God, the first time that something like that happens, nothing will stop me. Nothing will stop me. I'm telling you, lock me up now preemptively, because that is a line.
I do have to say, in order to calm your spirit, it's probably a long shot that anything would ever happen. We live in a very small town. I doubt we're going to have to deal with much.
We do.
So I don't ever get worked up over something I feel like has a very small chance of happening.
Well, the problem that I think we have is, as conservatives, we let our actions do the speaking, right? By how we vote, by how we do this. We learned that doesn't quite matter anymore. So we need to take more liberal actions. It's liberals that tend to reach out to their representatives more often than conservatives do. It's liberals that tend to write articles and stuff more than conservatives do. So I wrote our state legislature 2 nights ago, and I wrote the school board, and then I also wrote our congressman, because personally, I feel like I did my part by doing that. Right now, again, to not care is completely fine. I'm not saying you have to care. I'm saying if you care, you got to do something about it, because we can't just sit back. If we just sit back, we're allowing this, we're allowing
Everything in
one more
life,
thing.
though, acts as a pendulum. And I feel like right now we're on that upswing.
I think so.
It will come back down.
I think so. And I think it's the actions of a lot of conservative people, and it's going to come back. It's just, anyway, I'm just upset.
Don't look at Corey's. It's going to keep us on the subject. No, that's not what he was saying.
Anyway, so what was the next subject?
And I agree with what Keith says, is we spend too much time. Like right now, we have a huge crisis. Jesus, I can't believe I just said that. But we have a huge crisis with the whole COVID thing. As much as I don't want to think it's a crisis, it's a crisis.
Well, it's whether it's created or not. I'm not saying I'm not
not a
saying the
whole lot's
virus
been
is
done
created.
about it.
I'm saying that a crisis has been created out of all this.
Right. So we have that. We now have disruption amongst jobs in the United States. Whether you're for it or against it, we've had a lot of lost jobs. We have an economy that I don't know how the market is where it is right now. It's propped up by bubblegum and shoestrings. And then all this other important things. And we're worried about where people are pissing. And we're worried about all Dr. Seuss. And we're worried about all this other stuff. It's like, let's stop with all this ignorance and let's worry about what matters. That's all I care about. Like, let's get businesses back rolling.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing with this. And our governor and a few other governors have completely opened up. Was it Texas? I think it was Texas that just came out and they said
Texas,
they're just
no mask mandate. Well, it's the same as Florida.
Yeah.
And see, then the CNN gets a hold of that. And that, what people don't, okay, so if we have anybody that's from out of state, this is what no mask mandate means, because there seems to be a hang up. What no mask mandate means, because we've been down that in Florida now for like 8 months.
Yeah,
it means that you don't have to wear a mask.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, in Florida, everybody wears a mask when they go into businesses, because those businesses require that you wear a mask or you don't shop there.
Yeah.
That is called giving the right to the people.
Correct.
You don't, as a government, have to tell me I have to wear a mask. If I'm out in the streets and I'm doing whatever, and there are some businesses that don't have masks on and they don't require it, but that is their choice. And if you don't want to go there, don't go there. It's not rocket science.
I've cut out some businesses because not because of the mask, but because of how they choose to, treat the mask. Right. There's other places I can't cut out because I have to be in there. And there's places that I have to think about whether or not I'm going into because I forgot my mask at home. Right. That's just how it is.
Well, and it's for if you own a business and you don't want anybody in your store with a white shirt, then whatever. I mean, I'm totally for that. All right, on to less somber things.
Oh, can we talk about this bourbon? Did you try this bourbon?
Yeah, I did. All right, let's move on to the bourbon.
Yeah.
So this is McKenna.
Have you tried it yet?
Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of spice. And by the way, if you're following along with the drinking, you have to drink with us. That's the rule. And if you're smoking, you have to take a hit.
Kevin had enough when he's saying that.
Well, Kevin's never going to take a hit, but it's okay. I would say New Riff and Black are better.
Well, I feel like this is different.
It is different. It's
like I put this in the Buffalo Trace category. I put this in the category of like, and again, I'm saying Basil Hayden, but not saying it. Basil Hayden holds a candle to this. I'm saying it's I don't know, more like it's just a straight bourbon.
I don't know. I don't know if I like that one that much.
There's something about the tenure that you can taste. You can taste that it's been aged a little bit more. It's a little mellow.
Boy, the Buffalo Trace has a lot of nose to it. I still have Black sitting here. Buffalo Trace has a very harsh ending. And it burns a lot.
Now, you have to remember, the McKenna is 100 proof. The McKenna's 100 proof.
Well, then it's mellow for 100.
So if you're talking apples to apples, you would do the McKenna to the New Riff, McKenna to the Four Roses.
Here's my black.
What's the black, by the way, proof wise?
I think it's 90.
So Buffalo Trace is, I think.
I like black better than both of those.
I think Buffalo Trace is in the 80s.
Black and New Riff are my favorites tonight. I gotta say, and I know they're super popular, and this isn't going to be popular for me to say, but we've had Eagle Rare, we've had the McKenna, and we've had that, and we've had. Now let me
Buffalo
tell you,
Trace is 90 proof.
what was the horse one?
Chestnut
Chestnut Ridge Farms.
Ridge Farms.
Maybe
Something.
it's Ridge. I don't know. That one was good,
That's a good one.
but I'm not a big fan of the rest of the Buffalo stuff.
Oh, I like it. Buffalo Trace Distillery is good, in my opinion. That I see the McKenna for being 100 proof. That McKenna is rounded out, right? Do you feel that way?
Corey said he can't hear.
Did we lose audio?
Somebody let us know if they can hear us. No, Boomer Bob can hear us. And yes,
Bob, yeah,
we're drinking neat.
Yeah, we're just drinking neat. I made an old fashioned. I started with a Buffalo Trace old fashioned just to have a drink. But yeah, I mean, we're just doing neat. And some of these, I've got the New Riff sitting out for a little bit because I like to air them out and the flavor changes after a while.
Yeah, so it'll change a lot.
Yeah, so you just kind of experiment with what you like. And to be honest with you, I bet, for me, I bet the New Riff and the McKenna, all those 100 proofs with a splash of water.
Definitely smoother than the Buffalo Trace.
And I think that's where the aging comes in. That's where 10 years comes in.
I'm making an infinity, by the way.
Oh boy,
this has been all of them. Look at all that, and I'm gonna finish this before the end of the show. Show that on camera.
Here we go.
There it is.
Oh, it's a big boy.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a big boy. So let me see. This New Riff's been sitting out for a minute. It smells beautiful. That New Riff.
It's good. In order, though, the Beam Black and that one are close. But what is sensational is the Beam is so damn cheap. The finish is bad.
The finish is bad.
But the initial is good.
All the way to the finish is delicious.
Yes. I don't know what that finish is.
It just gets a little hard. I wonder if water would make a difference. Oh, Keith, 100%. When you get a night up, we're just so far away from you. I know it's tough. But
where's he at?
Keith, he's south of Palm Bay, southeast of Palm Bay.
No, I mean, that's not that bad. When Matt was with us, he was in Palm Bay. Or no, that's when we did game night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he still is, 40 minutes?
It's 40 minutes. I would hate. See, my thing is, I would hate for somebody to make that drive. Back. Yeah, that's an Uber kind of a thing. We'll figure it out one time. Using Grant. It's far. We'll figure it out sometime where if you wanted to come in, we can.
Well, we could do them in on the login.
Yeah, no, he meant to sit here and have whiskey with us, because as always, if you're here, drink whatever you want. But at the same time, maybe we figure something out where we get an Uber.
Uber everywhere.
Uber
everywhere.
Anyway.
So my other topics. Have you heard about deepfake?
I know of deepfake. Is there something else going on with deepfake?
Well, deepfake is just where you can be like somebody else's face.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So it wasn't a big deal until now people are being celebrities, and now it's a problem.
People are pretending to be other people.
Yeah, they're pretending to be celebrities. But if it wasn't celebrities, if it was you or I, nobody would give two craps.
No.
But I told that earlier, the celebs are all in an uproar. Well, guess what? It's about time you got a little uncomfortable because we live life uncomfortable.
About fucking something. Get uncomfortable about something.
Oh, and you know what's funny is, so you've been watching this whole Britney Spears thing, Free Britney or whatever. Well, Kim Kardashian, not to let anybody take her spotlight, said that she felt body shamed when she was pregnant. No one gives a shit, Kim. No one gives a shit about any of y'all. You live a life where you're so detached that you're worried about somebody saying, you look a little fat because you're pregnant. Give me $100 million. Call me whatever you want. In fact, cuss at me 47 hours out of the day. I know there's only 24.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You have to realize though that these people don't realize the invisible contracts they signed when they became these
Yeah, you're gonna
uber
get
rich
harassed.
celebrities. You signed. Look, I don't want that kind of money. I realized that over the last couple of years. I used to want to be rich. The reason why I wanted to be rich is because I didn't come from money, and I never wanted to question spending money on anything. That's why I wanted to be rich. Over these last 2 years, I really realized that I don't want that. I don't want that.
So Bob says if he goes deep, she can't fake. Bob, are we talking 2 or 3 inches? And I heard it from a good source, Mr. Matt DeBacco, that if you shove your thumb in your butt, you get an extra half inch.
So Keith says that celebrities and athletes, your feelings don't matter. So I agree that their feelings don't matter until they're in their private lives. Does that make sense? So like if paparazzi sitting out of a freaking celebrity's window at their own house and catches him breaking down because he's had a rough day and wants to blast him, I think that's fucked up, right? But a celebrity who's getting paid a bunch of money.
I think they need to stay out of neighborhoods.
What?
I think paparazzi needs to stay out of neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah. No. So if an athlete's an athlete and you're the paparazzi, you catch him after his game when he's leaving the arena. You get what I'm trying to say?
Or if they're at a club, they're fair game.
That's different. That's like public nightlife. But what I'm saying is it's an athlete, or it's a singer, you know what I mean? A singer more at the club, but an athlete, they're doing something. Talk to them about that. And you want to be a little interested in their private life. That's absolutely fine. But my point is, you can't be an athlete making millions of dollars deciding that you don't want to stand for the flag, or you don't want to wear the right uniform, or you want to wear a t-shirt that says no more blood diamonds while you've got 2 carrots in your ears, right? It's like, dude, cry me a fucking river, because I want no more high gas prices. I want bread that lasts more than a week before it goes bad and I have to throw it away and waste my money. I want to not have to spend so much damn money to change the freaking filter in my water filter in my refrigerator.
I want to know why people go out and buy bread in a hurricane.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Dude, Uncrustables. Just buy Uncrustables, because really you want that bread to make PB&J.
Well, no, what you just said, bread's only good for about a week or two. So why are we buying bread for a hurricane?
It's not going to freaking last. Yeah, it's not going to last. Buy spaghetti.
Never got it.
I just bought a case of SpaghettiOs for my daughter today because she likes to bring them to lunch every now and then.
And why did everybody buy toilet paper for COVID? No one shit themselves.
No, so there's a really good, and it's not necessarily a theory.
I think it was a ploy from the toilet paper people.
No, it's a science behind it. It's a science behind it. And I know it's hard to remember, but imagine walking into, we have Publix here. So imagine walking into Publix like 4 years ago, right? How many rolls of toilet paper did you actually expect to see in Publix? Especially if they were like the bulkier sizes, right? Where it's like 8 to 12 packs, right? How many of them actually fit on a shelf?
Not a lot.
Not as much as cans of SpaghettiOs.
No.
You get what I'm trying to say? So when everybody freaked out and they bought the toilet paper, it was more of a visual thing than anything, because it cleared out quick. It cleared out in 12 people when the water was there for 50. You get what I'm trying to say? So it cleared out quick because it's a bigger item, and then everybody was like, oh shit, I need toilet paper. I need toilet paper. I need toilet paper. But, I don't know. We're back because Sam's Club had a shitload of toilet paper today. Pun intended. I like Sam's Club.
I like Sam's Club too.
I stayed out of the snack aisle.
I don't believe you.
I swear, I stayed out of the snack aisle. I thought about it, and then I realized you got no time for that shit.
I don't believe you.
Promise, I did buy the variety pack of Pop-Tarts. It's the one thing I messed up and bought, because damn, that cookies and cream Pop-Tart is delicious.
Oh, the one you had from the house?
Oh, yeah. I grabbed it
When
by
you got an
accident.
accident.
I grabbed it by accident. So Kevin had the variety pack of Pop-Tarts at his house. And like typical, it made me smile. It reminded me of growing up. Like typical family that has kids, there was a package opened that had one Pop-Tart in there, which means a little one grabbed it and couldn't eat two. So she only ate one. And it was in the wrong box. I thought it was a strawberry Pop-Tart. But I grabbed
Cherry.
it. No, or I thought it was cherry. But I grabbed it, not looking, took a bite of it, and it was a s'more Pop-Tart. And that shit was incredible.
So now you got the big box.
Oh, it was spectacular. Spectacular.
You know, Morgan makes those and then puts melted butter on.
I know, that's just ridiculous. That's a whole nother level. That is the
And
Kentuckian
then
coming
Morgan's
out.
like 101 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, look, I like Morgan. She's a great person. I saw her eat like 50 times this week. Every time I stopped by the house or, anything for work, she was either eating or just got done eating.
And I'm never eating, and I'm fat.
Never. Kevin eats once a day. I promise you, on a normal day, Kevin probably eats twice a day. And as far as snacks go, maybe one.
I
Like,
don't snack.
you don't do like a drive-by when your kid's snacking on something and taste it? So Kevin is at most twice a day eater. And I'm not talking about twice a day big meals. Kevin's like a once a day big meal and then a small something if it's been too many hours in
I'm
between.
just the epitome of bad genes.
Yeah. It's funny. Cracks me up.
It is what it is.
Well, your doctors crack me up because you're the healthiest fat person they've ever seen.
I've been told that by 3 different doctors.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we just thought for sure you had high cholesterol. Your cholesterol's great. Like your blood pressure is spot on.
You're just tubby. Your skin should be purple.
Yeah. And then like if we go out and do sports or whatever, it's like I'm good the whole time. I'm not out of shape or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
My only concern, and it's not just with you, it's with all my friends, is that we're getting older.
I'm putting this on the look at that comment.
I shit once for every time I eat. You know what's crazy, Bob? When my freaking health was spot on, like when I was running all the time, which, by the way, for people who care and have been following, I started running again. I ran 3 times this week.
But it has a broken knee.
My knee is just killing me. If my knee wasn't killing me, I would be running all day long. I just, like right now. So I used to cross. I'm sitting with my right leg crossed over my left knee. I am a left leg over right knee crosser.
I don't cross them.
I don't know why.
The package is too big.
I do that to have it. I cross my legs. I can't put my left leg over my right knee anymore because I can feel the pain in my left knee, and it's killing me. I'd love to get like stem cell therapy or something. I don't want surgery. Anyway, so I've been running a little bit more, but in my absolute healthiest, I shit once a day. Every morning, it was like a purge. And then I could do whatever I wanted for the day. I even was able to eat dairy again, which was amazing. And it wouldn't mess me up.
Reason to do it.
Yeah, it wouldn't mess me up. And then all of a sudden, I start, losing the diet and getting out of control. And now I have dairy and I shit my pants again.
All right, I'm switching subjects.
Let's go.
So this is a what would you do? So a high-level executive at Nike, like the manager, general manager of everything in the whole continent of North America, had to resign because her son was using a credit card he pulled out in her name and using her status to be able to buy hard-to-get Nikes and reselling them on the market to the point that he made over $200,000 in 6 months. And he is so stupid. He was going by an alias, and I think he had a different last name because he went by his dad's last name. His mom's was different because I think they were divorced. And whatever newspaper, somebody came and did an interview with him. And in the middle of the interview, he said the way he got the shoes is because of his mom's connections. They asked who his mom was, and he said it, and then he realized what he did. And he tried to say, don't use that in the thing. Well, of course they're going to use that because now it's become a nothing story to a huge story. And so now his mom had to resign. My question is, if you had That's got to be a $700,000 a year job at minimum. And your dumbass kid goes and pulls out a credit card without you knowing and is using your account to buy thousands of pairs of off-white Jordans and reselling them.
Yeah.
I would fight my kid.
I would be extremely pissed off at the kid, and here's where I have to swallow my own medicine, and I will be the first person, not the first person really. I don't know who I'm kidding. I won't be the first person to admit when I'm wrong, but here I am, not admitting when I'm wrong, but admitting that things need to go both ways, right? The same way I don't want cancel culture going on. I don't think, now, again, I would love to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that her son's a fuck up.
She resigned within 20 minutes.
So, but here's
There's
the deal.
more.
But
I think she might have been involved.
Okay, so that's a different story. That's a completely different story. Now, if people were calling for her head, I would say, whoa, chill out for a second. Let the story play out. Let everything play out, right? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Because, like, look, I mean, I look at you and I
Like
look
even Cuomo, as much as I hate his ass, I think it should play out.
the story should play out because sexual accusations should not be career ending.
Your grandma wanted to have sex with me.
Think about what I said.
Made the shots.
Yeah. Oh, God, this video, you guys. Kyle Dunnigan is the best follow on Instagram. Follow Kyle Dunnigan. He did a great Cuomo video today. And again, guys, if you heard me wrong, you did. Sexual allegations should not be a death sentence. Now, there's a difference between an allegation and a conviction. If he is proved to have been a shithead to all these women, then by all means, head on the chopping block. Do it. But the point is, it's got to be treated fairly across. So for this woman, now, like you said, the fact that she resigned within 20 minutes tells me she knew what was going on.
Yeah, that means that was the tip of the iceberg.
That was the tip of the iceberg, meaning that there's probably more that she'd been doing this shit for years or whatever, or she's had people do this shit for years. So, but if she was sitting there holding on to her job and people were calling for her to get fired, I would then say, hey, man, you are not the sins of your father. Right, so same way goes for the kid. You're not your kid's, especially if he's a grown kid.
Posting Bob's because that couldn't be true. You're right, Bob. It shouldn't be about the sexual allegations. It should be about the things that where he actually did kill people.
Yeah, and I feel terrible for overlooking that. I was just focusing on the one topic, and we were just talking about that earlier, right? Didn't we talk about that earlier? That it not only did Cuomo. Not only did he not release the information, right? Not only did he not release the information or allow false information,
skewed it.
He's changed information. It's one thing for just allow false information, but the information comes to you and you change it before you release it. That's a problem.
His aide has come out against him.
Right.
How much you want to bet they've been banging and he did her wrong?
Oh, okay. Now this is just like playing detective here. You got all these women accusing him, so you know he's a scumbag. She's the closest person, which means she gave in and let him fuck her.
I would have to agree.
Right? So she gave in, let him fuck her, and shit started going bad. Right? And there you go. Which, I don't think you should. Here you go. You want one of my isms? I don't think you should fuck the shit you work in.
Well, you ain't banging me.
Right.
So
remember the joke? What did we say the other day? But we were listening to somebody who was talking about how they hate their boss, and I was like, everybody hates their boss.
Dude, he's sitting right next to me.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't look at it that way because we work for the Italians. But in this case, yes, I was with you representing your company on a job site.
But I was about as offended as nothing as usual.
Yeah,
because you can't not care about other people's feelings and care about your own. That's the rule.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Seriously, that's the rule.
You can't be a shithead to everybody else and expect.
You have to admit, as shitty as I am, I never get offended.
No.
Like, I take it as well as I push it out.
But I mean, I'm sure there's probably some things that would get to you more than others, and depending on who they came from. But at the same time, it's exactly what you said.
Honestly, if I don't love you, I just
you can't care about everybody's feelings.
no. Yeah, but Morgan could say some shit though, and it's like, oh,
But that's how it is. It's the closest people to you.
Yeah.
Right? Like growing up, I bet your dad can get to you or your mom could get to you if they
Not
wanted
anymore.
To.
I built a brick wall.
Right? But that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point, right? Anyway,
Yep, there's a brick wall made out of steel.
a brick wall made out of
That
steel.
is the southern border. There's no illegal immigrants getting into this heart.
You do know you just said a brick wall made out of steel, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Steel rebar inside the concrete.
Inside the concrete. There you go.
Yeah.
So a steel reinforced brick wall.
Exactly.
All right. Next topic.
Yeah. So I'm running low. So we've
It's
made
already
it.
midnight.
I know. So my next one was. So here's the next story. And it's my last one. And then we can let everybody go to bed. And thank you for staying on so long, by the way. We've had a good amount of viewers tonight. And we have 9 hearts. Something's wrong. We put together a decent show, I think.
Yeah, but why the hearts?
And they love us. They love
Huh.
you.
They love you, Kevin.
No, they don't. No one does.
The
So,
love is weird.
yeah.
If they love us,
Love
it-
is blind and retarded.
yes, exactly. If they love us, it means they have problems. If they laughed, well, it's probably. What do you think is more fucked up? Okay, this is not a topic, but this is what happens. Somebody posts a freaking terrible meme, right? What do you think is more fucked up? The thumbs up. I think the thumbs up is more like I chuckled, right? I'm just giving you my interpretations. The care is kind of weird in that situation, right?
Is that the huggy one?
Yeah,
I've never used
that's
that.
weird. In that situation, that's kind of weird. The anger is obvious, right? The sad is obvious, like they disagree with you. But what do you think is more fucked up? When somebody puts the heart on the fucked up meme or the laughy face? Because the laughy face, in my opinion, is like, oh, that's good. I'm laughing at something that's really, really fucked up. Whereas the love is like, oh, that's a good one. I like it.
I feel like I have no idea. I'd never give it anything other. It's either thumbs up or nothing.
So that's good. Yeah, but sometimes I feel like a good meme is worth way more than a thumbs up. And I do the love.
I just comment.
I do the love because I'm like, I'm so fucked up with you that I feel like we're the same person. But people,
Soft says he can't respect you because you wear a totally flat bill. I have to agree with that.
no, we've talked about this. Okay, Soft, allow me to explain, please, for 1 second. My head is so fat, regardless of how much weight I lose. I have such a round and wide templed head that when I wear a curved bill, my hat like comes in and then curves. So you see like my head. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It curves in so you see my wide head and then curved bill. If it just went out and curved, I'd be perfectly fine. My head is too fat. A curved bill makes my head look even fatter.
And then there's my head.
Kevin can't even wear hats.
No. Physically cannot wear
Can't wear
hats. All right. So my next one is last topic. And thank you for staying with us the whole time. There was 2 younger women that dressed up like elderly women in another state to get COVID vaccines. They were that worried about it that they literally dressed up to go get a vaccine and steal one from an older person. That question being raised is, if given the opportunity, will you get the vaccine? And he's not listening.
No, I am listening, but for some reason, it almost seemed like you were just posing that question to the people listening, and I was waiting to hear somebody's response.
Well, they're delayed like 18 seconds.
Yeah, it's tough.
We'll just sit here quiet and look at the camera.
So, would I get the vaccine? Is that basically what it comes down to? Will I or would I?
Will, would, either.
So, would I? If there was less politics to the vaccine, I feel like I would. That doesn't mean right now. Okay, I'm saying at some point. because I've gotten flu vaccines in the past. I don't now because I feel like I've always gotten I always get a reaction to those kind of a vaccine, right? Plus, I'm healthy enough. I've had the flu quite a few times, and I'm healthy enough that I know I can get over it fine. Maybe that's just arrogance or whatever the case is. So I don't feel like I need the vaccine. COVID, I am not scared of COVID. I'm just going to say it. I'm not scared of COVID. I feel like we've already had it.
I think so. Well, the doctor even said they think that what I got going on may have been caused
by COVID.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. But like I said, so I feel like we've already had it. So will I get a COVID vaccine? As far as like, let's just say they had enough doses for everybody and I could have one. No, I would not. I'm sorry, I won't. Or I wouldn't. Will I ever get the COVID vaccine? I mean, if this is a thing just like the flu and, every year it makes more sense to get it versus not get it. I mean, maybe, but no, I don't get the flu vaccine. So I'm not scared of it. Once I'm scared of it, sure, I will consider it. And once the politics are out of it completely, it'll change my view on it. I think it's too politically driven at the moment.
I'm not getting it. I will not get it. I'm not going to get it.
But preface a little bit. Do you ever get vaccines?
No.
So there you go.
Well, I mean, I get like an MMR, my booster shot, my tetanus, all that stuff. Yes. But these are proven vaccines that have been around for eons.
Eons, yeah.
And you're not going to have an issue with it. Although autism has been on the rise, I wouldn't be surprised if I was a tad bit touched. But I am going to tell you that I'm not taking anything that's not. There's a less than 1% chance that I'm going to die. I'm not taking anything for it. That's just the way it is. I have as much likelihood of dying by a lightning strike in Florida tomorrow as I do of dying from COVID. So am I going to take a shot that has not been around, that could possibly cause cancer, sterilization? Again, these are big jumps. It's probably not likely, but there is a chance, probably more of a chance than actually getting COVID. Right?
Yeah.
There's more of a chance that it's going to give me cancer than it is that I get COVID on my own.
Look, if we already had COVID,
not get COVID, but die from COVID.
Right. But if we already had COVID, we can tell you that the symptoms were so insignificant that we didn't bother seeking any sort of medical attention, right? But then you go and you get a vaccine that just wipes you out, that you feel like you should go get medical attention, except for the fact that you just got the vaccine and that's what happens.
Which is true, by the way. We work a lot of doctors, and almost every single one of them has taken the vaccine shot, has gotten very sick.
Very sick. Like,
yes.
I'm not going to say names. We were at a clinic where everybody on that floor had just gotten the vaccine. And there were several people who could not stop coughing to the point that they had to go home. One person was nauseous to the point that they kept getting sick and had to go home. Other people felt like they got into car accidents, like their bodies were hurting. They just had to go home. And this is within hours of taking the vaccine. So, be as you will, that's what we see. So when we say we're not willing to take the vaccine, it's because we see that sort of stuff.
Keith, I'm looking at your comments here. And you will be probably surprised to know that my family has switched to all organic, and we really don't eat a lot of microwave foods. And it's not because we're tinfoil hat wearing people. It's just because as a normal person, that when you microwave something, you lose the nutrients. And I'm not the epitome of health, but my wife's family has a background of some health issues. So to switch to organic, and whether it's true or not, if it's going to help or not, I can tell you that my wife has no issues. I have no issues. My kids have no issues. We've been organic now for 8 years. It does cost extra money. So yes, we are taking the steps for that as well. So I live by what I preach, and that includes I will take vaccinations that have been proven for decades that, I understand. But that's the other thing. I didn't realize how many more vaccinations kids get today than when we were kids. I mean, it's like triple, which is really weird. Which, with the rise in autism, I do have some belief that that might have something to do with it, with all the aluminum injections. Because when we were younger kids, I think we had, I don't know, let's say 10, and they have like 30 now. So I do the absolute minimum. Like, my kids are going to get measles, mumps, rubella, that one. They're going to get, what's the one that's making a rise again because people aren't getting
Was
the
it
shot?
smallpox?
I think so. They've
Which
had that one. Like anything that is
the
proven.
fucking bubonic plague came back like last year or
That's what I'm saying.
2019 or
Anything that
something.
has been
It's crazy.
around since 1940, like, I'm fine with those. But anything that hasn't been proven, I'm not doing any of that. It's like, why don't I know? Why don't I own an electric car? Because it's not proven yet. Yes, they're getting better,
Well,
but it's not to the point I want
they,
it to be.
they're proven in what they are and what they're capable of, but we are driving to Miami working for 2 to 4 hours and coming back, right? So until there's an electric charging station everywhere, we just can't do it. Something that you said too, Keith, about the Food and Drug Administration needing to be separate, completely agree. And I did. Oh, before I forget, you mentioned what if microwave food changes the genetics and then mutates shit in your body. So there's something called God, I spent so much time researching health. And to be honest with you, that's what helped me lose 50 freaking pounds. And I don't listen to any of that shit anymore. And what do you know? I'm fat again. But there's something called free radicals. I'm not a biologist, so I can't, give you that sort of information on it. But a lot of foods cause free radicals. And free radicals are what turn into cancer, from my understanding. So through your bloodstream, these free radicals just kind of go loose. There's something about their electrical charges, if I'm not mistaken. They just bounce all over the place, and they can cause cancer. And it's my understanding that throughout our lifetimes, we actually have come in contact with several cancers within our own body that we actually process and remove naturally, meaning we, shit them out, basically. So, yeah, I mean, I think when you're messing with foods in weird ways, I don't know that the microwave food causes cancer. I think they did a study on that and proved that it doesn't. However,
The people that sell microwaves did the study.
really?
I'm joking.
No, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Just like the people who create sugar said that fat was bad, right? And vice versa. You'll get that. But I think the whole thing is, processed foods will cause all sorts of issues. So, if you did a study on microwaving like farm raised chicken, not to cook it, obviously, but to reheat farm raised chicken in a microwave versus reheating like a McDonald's
I thought you were
cheeseburger,
just going to throw a whole chicken in there alive.
and just cook it.
Yeah.
And then it comes out looking good. For obesity and DNA issues, I mean, there's got to be issues. I think processed foods probably more than microwave. I would think, wouldn't you
I
think?
would say I'm a statistic against that because I don't do either of them, and I'm still obese and I don't eat a lot.
Well, but processed foods, gosh dang, man, there's a lot of processed foods that I think take an incredible amount of time. Toaster over food causes AIDS. I think there's foods that like Kraft singles, right? I think you could throw a Kraft single like on the street and it would be there like 2 months from now, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't even think bugs would eat it, would they?
That's margarine.
Margarine. So there are certain things that we're definitely putting into our bodies that nature itself won't even break down, So it's weird, man. It's really weird. I think the best thing you can do is just be cognizant of what you're doing. And if you realize you're eating too much garbage.
My downfall, if I get cancer, I'm going to tell you right now, if I get cancer, it is caused 1,000% by either the ingestion of meat, because I eat a lot of meat, or it's going to be because of diet drinks.
So to be honest with you, I think the diet drinks probably. Now, again,
Or whiskey.
this isn't Kevin saying he eats 10 steaks a week and has a Diet Coke with each of them.
I never have a meal without meat.
Well, but I guess
Ever.
what I'm trying to say is people also might not realize how much Diet Coke you drink or diet soda you drink.
Lately, I've cut back, but on average, I'd say for the last 10 years, without even a bit of exaggeration, at least 8
a day.
a day.
Yeah, so that's a lot different than having like one with dinner every day.
No,
right.
I have. So my morning ritual is I have a cup of coffee, I drink a bottle of water, I take my daily prescription, my vitamin, and then I grab a Coke, put it on ice, and go to the car. So that's my first one. Then I pick up Frank. We go down the road. We stop at a rest stop. I get another Coke.
Yeah.
Then we go to another place. I get another Coke.
Yeah.
It's like
and then at the end of the day, you're drinking 2 with whatever meal we're eating.
Yeah.
And then, we're heading home, probably grabbing another one. You get home to the house, probably grab another one, and then another one before you go to bed.
Yep.
That's a decent amount of Diet Coke. So it's my understanding that as far as like cancer causing, and by cancer, tumors, that sort of stuff, the diet sodas can do that way, way more than your regular sodas. But the regular sodas are packed with calories and sugar and cause diabetes problems, etc. So, I mean, if you're going to splurge and have a soda once in a while, like once a week, once every couple of weeks, you're probably better off having a regular Coke, than you are a diet.
I can't drink regular Coke like I can a diet.
Yeah.
A regular Coke will last me an hour.
Oh yeah, but
A diet I'm done in 5 minutes.
They're thick. I can't get them down.
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically,
That's what she said.
it's just like a lot of things, man, and a lot of things in our lives that I think we tend to just overdo things.
Sauce made me laugh.
What?
I look like a special ops dude that did time in Iraq.
See, the chat's not following.
Well, you got to scroll down.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is going to be it because it is getting late.
So let's wrap up the ongoing topic that we've had throughout this whole thing. How would you rate the bourbons that we drank tonight?
Number 1, I hate to say it, Jim Beam Black.
You like the Beam Black?
Yep. Number
right.
2, it is a tie between Riff and McKenna. And dead ass last is Buffalo Trace.
So I would say, now this is weird. So if
the aftertaste of that Riff messes it up. If the aftertaste wasn't there, it's way ahead of it.
It's way ahead of it. So I think, for example, like if somebody came to my house and said, I want to try a really good bourbon that I probably haven't tried, I might grab that New Riff because it's very unique in flavor. Just like, actually, to be honest with you, I'm grabbing Smooth Ambler. I'm grabbing Contradiction.
Oh, that's the best one.
So I'll grab Contradiction bourbon and say, taste this. It's delicious. But let's just say they already had that one. I would say, try this New Riff. But if I needed to make an old fashioned right this second, I'm probably going to grab Buffalo Trace because it's like my workhorse, right?
No, I feel like Buffalo Trace would be a good mixer because it's basic.
Yeah, I would probably go New Riff, McKenna, Buffalo Trace, and Beam because Beam still has that smell and taste of Beam.
See, but that's what I like.
That's what you like. That's just not my thing.
Anything Russell's, I like.
But again, I would still put that Beam way ahead of a ton of other stuff that's out there, or right Russell's. Behind me.
Beam and Russell's are my 2 favorite distillers.
Costco sells brandy. See, I think I saw that.
We've talked about doing some brandy.
Yeah, I'm torn. I don't know that I've ever drank brandy properly.
I've never had brandy.
I think I've had brandy like in things.
I don't think I've ever had brandy ever.
Do we have to try brandy?
Yep.
I like rye, and I was afraid to try. Not afraid to try rye. I was hesitant. Like, I don't want to spend $40 on a bottle of rye.
I have tried a shit ton of vodkas, by the way. I've already been down that road. My favorite by far is Chopin.
Chopin.
Yeah, it's Grey Goose's. So Grey Goose is made from grain, grain. And Chopin is their version that's made from potatoes.
So I was told that, and it might be completely wrong, but Kettle One
I like Kettle One.
is a commodity vodka. So they'll make it with either potatoes or grain, depending on whatever's cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was told. I might be completely wrong. But Kettle One is Russian?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Tito's is good.
I have Kettle One behind me. I'll look into it. Tito's is delicious. Did you know that St. Augustine makes vodka?
Really?
Yeah. I went down the wrong aisle the other day.
I can't see paying $60 for St. Augustine though.
I'm going to at some point. Just because I got to try
I
it.
feel like it's going to be let down.
I have to at some point because I have to try it. But watching that bourbon documentary, which if you like bourbon, seriously watch Neat on Hulu. It was really good. And they say it. Bourbon is good however you want to drink it.
However you like it.
However you like it.
I mean, I could drink Beam Black for the rest of my life.
The cool thing though is that they tell you how to drink it, right? Like how, it's good however you like it. But if you want to try it with water, what you do is you try it with, this much water, and then try this much water, and work your way down until you're like, that's exactly how I like it.
Take your training wheels off.
You take your training wheels off. But again, some people may never drink bourbon without at least a splash of water.
I'm going to tell you, though, we've tried 50 since we've started. Would you say 50 different ones?
I've got 54 bottles behind me.
Then we've tried at least 70.
Yeah, and again, of the 54 bottles, I think 12 of them are not bourbon.
They're whiskey. Oh, you mean
are not
okay.
Whiskey? Meaning I've got Scotch whiskey, bourbon. I've got American whiskey, Irish whiskey. But the thing is, but I do have a couple bottles. So I've got Grand Marnier. I've got tequila, rum. You know what I mean? So 12 bottles of other than whiskey behind me.
Well, out of all those, and we could literally say it together, number one, by far, not even close to second place, Smooth Ambler Contradiction.
Yep.
It is so good.
Yeah, it's ridiculously good. It was really weird. The first time we both tried it, we were like, this is good. Yeah. It has such a unique, but that's the thing too, because I get it exactly what we've said. Now, I don't think you can go buy well bourbon everywhere and expect it to just be just fine, but you can go get a $20 to $40 bottle of bourbon and be happy with it. Several of them, and that the ones that we had were delicious, right? Like Wild Turkey's Long Branch was delicious.
Yeah.
There's a Buffalo
Shout
Trace.
Out to Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. I'm not disappointed with Buffalo Trace, especially at $24.99.
No, all these are good.
McKenna at $35 is delicious.
Yeah, don't just because I put Buffalo Trace last out of 4, it is still leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of other ones.
Right, and you're not spending a lot of money. So my search is to find just unique ones, just that I might enjoy. So I like the Woodinville from Seattle. Was Woodinville from Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, and that one to me, so my favorites for mixing with old fashions are Woodinville and Chattanooga.
I
Buffalo.
can tell you, Long Branch though is the perfect anything one.
Long Branch was just smooth.
Yeah, Long Branch is good any way you want to take it.
Yeah, Long Branch was silky smooth. And but I guess that's what I'm saying is so you enjoy it how you want to enjoy
Smooth
it.
Ambler though.
Smooth Ambler's my favorite.
You got to drink it neat or on the rocks.
I haven't even tried it in an old fashioned yet.
I don't think it needs it.
No, like it's good. I liked it. I think I liked it neat more than on the rocks.
I think I picked that one because I think I saw a review where this one says it's pretty good.
Yeah, and the elephant.
And it had dust on it.
Well, shit, we kept calling it the elephant one.
Yeah, the elephant one.
And to be honest with you, how much is that bottle? 30. It's
39
36
normally.
Yeah, 39 normally. I've
The
seen it at
least I've seen
ABC
is-
for 36.
I've seen it for 37.
And then
41 to 37.
we overpaid for it at the time we got it, but we overpaid by $1.
Yeah, who cares?
You paid $40.99 or something.
That's for a
like that.
local place too, so I don't care.
No problem with supporting local. So anyway, but
Yeah, we probably shouldn't tell
About
people this because now we're
Remy,
not going to be able to
Keith,
find Smooth Ambler.
to be honest with you, Keith, I've had cognac like one time at a party.
Oh, I've had some cognac.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've only had cognac like one time at a party. Brandy, I'm not sure, but my gosh, whiskey and bourbon, I've been drinking since I was a kid
I
on
had some
Burn Road.
cognac and a fish sandwich.
See, I always wanted to drink cognac because of the ladies' man.
It's cognac. I've had some cognac. It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like cognac. It's not something you can drink more than one of, though.
Really?
It's a dessert.
Okay.
It's like a port wine.
I got another thing that I want to try at some point too. Is I've got that Buffalo Trace. I got the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream.
Yeah.
Like I want to try that on
So
the
you
rocks.
never had Cavassier?
I think I have had Cavassier, but like a sip.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You know.
What was the Incredible Hulk? Cavassier and
that wasn't that the Incredible Hulk wasn't Hennessy.
It might have been Hennessy. Hennessy and Hypnotic.
Hennessy and
That's
Hypnotic.
what it was.
Yeah.
I like that drink. Still to today, I would drink that drink.
To me, it just sounds terrible.
Dude, it was like the club rave back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, that's what everybody was drinking.
Hennessy's a little rough.
And what is Hennessy? Cognac?
I think so.
I think Hennessy's cognac. I mean, if Keith's listening, he might chime in. But that's always been one of those things. Now, like literally, when I've had Hennessy, was literally somebody passing around a bottle, like drink.
No.
Yeah, and you just drink right from the bottle, and you're like, "What the hell am I doing?"
I feel like every time I do that, it's always either Jack, Jameson's really popular, just sucking right down out of the bottle, and Red Stag. For some reason, Red Stag, I always get handed in the bottle.
I'm not a Red Stag fan, and you know what's so funny is I used to like Jack Daniels. I don't know that I can drink it anymore.
Yeah, we got Snooty. I still like some Red Stag when you mix it with some Coke.
See, here's the other thing too: is I've got a good friend who posted a picture the other day of him drinking. It's a decent whiskey. It couldn't have been a whiskey that was more than $40 for the bottle, but he was like, "Hey, just went to my buddy's house and he had blah blah blah," and he shows us a picture of him drinking whatever that was in Coke.
Then why drink it?
And that was my point. But then I started laughing, and I'm like, you know what? My goal, and I think I told Kevin, they have like a $15,000 bottle at Total Wine. I said, I want to have so much money that I can buy this and cut it with Mountain Dew.
That was Scotch.
Was it Scotch?
It was Scotch.
Hey, you can drink Scotch and Grand Marnier, and it's a drink. Scotch and Amaretto is a godfather.
The most I've ever spent on a bottle is $130, and it tasted like giant buttholes. There's a story behind that I'm not going to get into. But after I left it open for a couple months, not bad.
Yeah, so I guess it just depends. But anyway, so we can put a bow on this thing. We broke 2 hours, kind of long, but it's been fun. I thought it was fun.
We don't give a shit if you didn't think it was fun. We thought it was fun.
We thought it was fun, and I had a good time. And the topics were good topics today, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Very good topics.
Maybe next time you'll bring some.
Maybe, but we've been waiting 2 years for that. So, all right.
All right.
Well, good night.
Bye-bye.
See you guys later. How do we end this thing now?
Yeah, we still at least